And to talk more about the importance of Juneteenth, we want to welcome Pastor Darren Jaime of the People's AME Zion Church. Always good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Christy. Good to see you.
Yes. Pastor Jaime, first of all, just the importance of Juneteenth. Tell us about it.
One thing to understand exactly what Juneteenth is, and I think you're correct when you talk about that it is an important that we recognize the end of slavery. Gordon Granger, who was the general at the time, was riding down to Galveston, Texas, to inform that slavery had ended. The irony is that that message got to Galveston 2.5 years after Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. So in reality, slaves were already free for 2.5 years before they ever got the word in Texas. And so it's a celebration. It's an affirmation of a wrong that was done in America, but it's also an affirmation that people deserve equity, freedom, and also liberty, which this country calls for.
Yeah, that's prominent on the calendar now. Do you think the holiday is going to hold more significance for a lot of people because of the social unrest that's now taking place?
Well, I think there is more attention being given to the fact that there is a need for racial equity, there's a need for justice, there's a need for equality and fairness. And Juneteenth is an opportunity for America to actually celebrate the fact that there was this horrific wrong with slavery, and we all are equal. And so it's not just an African-American holiday, it's an American holiday that should be celebrated. 46 states actually celebrate it as a state or a ceremonial day, and there's only a few states that don't. So it's important for us as a country, no matter what your race is, to be able to understand the importance of this day and what it means not just for African Americans, but it also means righting a huge wrong.
We'll follow up on that with a better understanding of the history surrounding Juneteenth, of where we were. Do you think it could help us better understand where we are now as a nation?
As a nation, and also for us as a city, I think if you look down in Clinton Square, the original pastor of the People's AME Zion Church, my church, is Bishop Jermaine Logan, and his statue is downtown in Clinton Square, and he's known for the Jerry Rescue. And so as you go to Clinton Square and you see this Jerry Rescue, you understand the fight for freedom and the fight for liberty. I think Americans all together will have a better understanding from whence we came. We've had some dark times, but days like this where you see legislation going forth definitely shines the light in a positive way. So I applaud the governor for making this state holiday. I understand some banks are actually closing at 1 p.m. In honor of Juneteenth, and I'm glad that more and more people are becoming receptive and knowing the history, because in order to know, there's a popular saying, in order to know where you're going, you have to know first where you came from.
That's so true. And, you know, as you just mentioned, states are recognizing Juneteenth with some status. It's also going to be an official state holiday next year in New York. There have been calls over the years to make it a national holiday. That hasn't taken root yet. Your thoughts on that, and how the National Football League, companies like Nike, they're all recognizing the day as a company holiday. A sign of changing times, but we need to perhaps push a little more?
Yeah, we have to push a little bit more, and I'll go back to my original statement when we talked about Juneteenth, right? We found the slaves actually found out 2.5 years after they were actually free. So I'll use the word late but necessary. So when we see companies and we see businesses and corporations stepping up to the plate and doing it, late but necessary. It's necessary to affirm the holiday. It's necessary to promote racial equity and freedom and equality. It's late, but it's definitely necessary. So I'm looking forward to seeing more and more people not just do it just because it's hot and it's the moment because of George Floyd and all that we're having the unrest right now, but we hope that it turns into something consistent where we can continue to build bridges instead of burn them.
Right. Consistent. Before we let you go, if you could tell us about tomorrow's food distribution at your church and how you're going to be spending the day.
Yeah, well, I mean, we spend the day throughout the COVID. We've been spending time distributing food to the community. There's chicken, there's vegetables, there's eggs, and we have a free food distribution at 12 noon at the People's AME Zion Church, and we give away this food for about a couple of hours. We've been able to donate to thousands of families over the course of the past several weeks, along with some tremendous partners. And we're grateful that we have the opportunity to give back. So tomorrow's going to also be a very special day that we have an opportunity to give back on Juneteenth.
Oh, very good. We're grateful you took the time to chat with us. Always a great conversation with you, Pastor Jaime. Thank you.
Thank you, Christy. Great talking to you.